Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I want to talk about business most people think is simple, but which is actually tied to some of the biggest decisions in modern life: fingerprinting, background checks, and identity screening services. This first image shows the old fashioned ink pad method of rolling fingers onto an identification card. That matters because it reminds us that the business begins with one basic promise: identifying a human being through a physical trace. The visible product here is a fingerprint card. The hidden business is turning identity into clearance, eligibility with trust. Now, this slide brings the topic into the present. We see a technician using a digital identity setup, and the image itself emphasizes that the identity security matters. That is important because fingerprint is no longer just about black ink on paper. It is now tied to digital profiles, facial capture, secure identity workflows, and trusted enrollment systems. The visible product here is a biometric appointment. The hidden business is building a decision ready identity. Now, this image here is very strong because it shows the actual mechanics of modern print capture: finger fingertips, group fingers, and thumbs scanned separately. That matters because this is where the subject is converted into a data record. Here, the visible product is fingers on the machine. The hidden business is creating a digital identity artifact that can now be searched, matched, routed, and evaluated. Now, this slide introduces the common misunderstanding. Most people imagine there is just some file cabinet or one master file somewhere and somebody simply checks it. But that is not really how this system works. The visible product is a man holding a file folder. The hidden reality is a layered screening system involving different databases, different rules, and different purposes, depending on whether the check is for a job, apartment, license, airport clearance, or a government document. Now, this slide is one of the most important in this deck because it makes the stack visible: employment verification, tenant rental history, criminal records, identity verification, education, addresses, licenses, credit, drug screening, civil records, and more. Those list matters because it shows background check is not only one thing. The visible product here is a list on a chart. The hidden business is choosing which parts of a person's life become relevant to approval or denial. Now, this image shows the integration between biometric information and the digital profile of the subject. That matters because the real value in this industry is not just collecting prints, it is matching them to the correct identity record. The visible product here is a monitor full of fingerprint images. The hidden business is turning a body into a searchable clearance profile. Now, this slide is especially useful because it shows how identity service has become retailized. Identity go locations in strip malls and storefronts bring what used to feel like specialized or government adjacent services into everyday commercial spaces. The visible product here is a local fingerprinting shop. The hidden business is scaling identity screening as a routine customer and compliance service. Now, this slide shows a very popular and recognizable branch of the business: TSA PreCheck enrollment. That matters because here the screening process is directly tied to convenience and mobility. The visible product here is a faster airport experience. The hidden business is charging for trusted status, using screening to separate standard travels from pre cleared travelers. Now, this slide introduces one of the deepest tensions with this whole topic: the Fair Credit Reporting Act and the problems of misuse, inaccurate information, and identity theft. That matters because once the screening system becomes powerful, it also becomes very dangerous. Here, the visible product is compliance language on a board. The hidden business risk is that bad or stale information can wrongly shape someone's job, housing, or reputation. Now, this image shows an interim driver's license, which is a strong way to illustrate the state's response to identity verification. That matters because sometimes the system does not fully trust on the first pass. Temporary or interim credentials exist, while identity or documentation is still being confirmed. The visible product is a temporary ID. The hidden business is delayed trust pending verification. Now, this final slide closes the presentation by pointing towards the future. Iris scanning, voice verification, facial mapping, and other biometric methods. That matters because the fingerprint business is really part of a broader identity industry. The visible product here is futuristic biometrics. The hidden business is expansion of identity screening into more parts of everyday life where access, approval, movement, and opportunity increasingly depend on verified data traces. Thank you.